Rock and roll. Hello and welcome to Note for Note. The first episode is finally here. Since this is the first episode, I just want to give a quick overview. First things first, you'll notice we are using a different font for the intro. I had a few different band fonts ready to go. Unfortunately, I wanted to make sure that they were all good and there was no legal issues, but as you can tell, we're using a different font just to play it safe here so there's no problems or hiccups that could halt any future episodes. So anyway, Note for Note is going to cover everything music. We're going to talk about bands, band members, albums, songs, and everything in between. One video could be about a band and their history. One could be about one band member, a band's albums, all of their albums. We can do a countdown playlist. We have so much we can do because so much has happened over the history of music, as well as shocking moments and a lot of cool stuff. Anyway, it's really a long range. The sky is the limit, as they say, for what can be discussed, but either way, the topic is music and it is going to rock. The first episode we're going to do is a simple one, and it's really a shocker to me. It still is, even though it's been occurring over the years, and that is the trend of music going digital, as by the title, Going, Gone, Digital. And anyway, as we walk through stores, many of you may not notice, but everything's shrinking. Literally, everything is shrinking because it's going digital. Music, movies, video games. I was walking through a few local chain stores and noticed the movie, music, and video game areas were being updated. At least that's what I thought. I saw everything getting moved around. And what happened on my next visit was a shock because it turned out to be a huge downsize. And I mean a huge downsize. Now, if you do everything from A to Z, all three formats, music, movies, and video games, the entire length is probably less than 50 feet. I'll show you my video right here that I took. This clip will show the music section as it is now at a local store. As you see there from the video, the Apple products, the Apple cards to download music for the iPods, that section alone could be one section for a few different bands, as we remember from the old days of going into a store and looking for a CD, or even for a movie section. That could be one section alone for a few different titles. Again, music was one entire area, and you could look through numerous albums from A to Z, and it would take you a while. And now everything is smashed together in one shot. And I understand that it is really a great feature to have all of your favorite music at your fingertips. I agree. On some parts of digital, you'll be sitting there and go, wait a minute, remember that song? But just being able to hold that extra format, being able to look at a CD, compare different CD covers, different albums, different track listings in person is a big difference. And although nostalgia is a good feeling, I understand in the end, everybody loves convenience, and convenience always wins over everything else. If we did not continue to upgrade the music format, I still think it's a 50-50 thing. Of course, we wouldn't want to be lugging around albums. I mean, somebody would look very strange bringing a briefcase to a party and whipping out their favorite vinyls nowadays. And even from the cassette era, anybody can remember you were carrying a case, usually a foot long, with all your different cassettes in it, and it got a little hectic then too. Same thing with CDs. Slimmer format, fine. Okay. Convenience factor wins right there. Although there is a time and a place for everything, I do believe nothing beats holding the format. I'll say that over and over again. The best thing you can do is hold an album in your hands. I bet anyone can remember the first time they bought any album, whatever format it was, the first time you held that favorite piece of music in your hand, looking over everything and going through the booklet like it was your duty to inspect. When in reality, it was your duty. You are a fan of that band. You are a fan of that music. You're going to make sure everything, literally, cover to cover, note for note, is what you want. And to this day, I can still remember holding some of the first albums that I bought. Looking over that case in the store and finally listening to that album. That huge moment, ripping off the plastic finally, opening the case, seeing what kind of design was on the disc, looking through the booklets and learning everything you could while listening to that thing. all the notes in between, all the little pieces by each band member, whatever it was, you took it all in. The great pictures included, the great pictures of the album artwork, everything. Again, we're in a time where everything is going digital. And although many sources of hard copies in stores are starting to dry up, there is a lot of confusion still, it seems. Or a little, whichever way you look at it. A lot of bands still produce vinyl. Great collector's piece. Great nostalgic feel. Is it that moment hearing those little pops when you put the needle onto the record? I don't know. I just think it's still funny that a lot of artists still produce music on them. Although selling them as a collection or a box set, it's still an idea, and it's still showing that people will choose the vinyl a lot of times. Me personally, anything that's a hard copy, a band could release a cassette and I'll still buy it today. The big question, of course, is where will music go from here? Of course, it will continue on a digital path, but what new grounds could be broken in the digital field? As technology advances, what are the advances and the fun that we can have? Either way, whether it continues to shrink in all the big chain stores, we all know that there are tons of mom and pop record shops. And after all, when you meet a band, I don't think they can sign something digital unless it's your used Apple iPod card or a receipt printed out of your purchase from online. You have to agree on that part. Nice hard copy of vinyl looks great signed on your wall compared to a receipt from a digital purchase. Alright, as I said, it was going to be a simple first episode, and there is many more where that came from. This will do it for the first episode, and I do thank everybody for tuning in. Until next time, rock on.